crowd we met is still the same crowd, because we met during the Easter Summit, which was Youth's Easter Summit, Easter breakfast. And it was an awesome time too. And because we have a mixed crowd here now, ordinarily we ought to have been doing an engagement session today. Because it's not as if GBV is something that had been there in a while. It's been there from the biblical time. It's been there. And I would have wanted to know who can tell me the parts, at what point, where and where can we say we saw it in the Bible? Because gender violence has been there. Can anybody tell me 2 instances in the Bible? Yes, sir. Joseph and Potiphar's wife was an instance. Yes, sir. Is there any other person? We wanted it an interactive outing because it's supposed to be an engagement session today. Who again, please? Hello? I'm hearing something. Okay, Absalom and Tamar. Who? Okay, so what I'm saying is that GBV, the Church of Nigeria, has come up with this program. We call it Transformational Response Against Gender-Based Violence. And I'm telling you now that GBV is something that had been there from inception. And in the biblical context, most of the time, it was meted with real punishment. They say that soul that sinneth must surely die. The punishment at that time was a very terrible one. Instant justice. And I wish we had it at this time. Possibly by now, some of these things were supposed to be scaling it down instead of getting it escalated, because it's getting very escalated. We are talking to the youths. These are the future generation. These are the fathers. These are the mothers in the waiting. These are the big guys, the engineers, the doctors of our time. And we feel that with GBV on the rise, it's going to mess up our future. A lot of our girls are being raped. A lot of people are being abused. And we wanted to ask us, why is it like this? What is GBV? What does it mean to a young boy? What does it mean to a young girl? What does it mean, and how does it impact us? Positively or negatively? That is the question I had in my mind to ask. We wanted it interactive, but I'm made to understand that we have the time is very short. So what we are saying is that this GBV is something that has come to stay. In our homes, we are feeling abuses. We are hearing stories of daddy molesting a daughter. We are hearing siblings, cohabiting, doing some crazy things, and we say no to it. I mean, if we have the morals, if we have the mind of God, if we are true believers of the word, it's supposed to be far from us. And the bigger thing I want us to talk about is, what are those root causes? What are those things that predispose us to this gender-based violence? What is it that predisposes us? What is it? How best can we prevent it? What are the interventions that are available in our time? Gender-based violence, it is here. Most of us, we are not speaking. We cannot tell our stories. The essence of us coming here as a committee is to come and charge you that the time for you to take ownership of your own self is now. The time for you to care for yourself is now. The time for you to protect yourself, to set your boundaries right is now. Because it is not right that anybody is being abused. It lives, the memory tends to live longer than us. So we want to see what we can do as youths to prevent it. And when we're talking about prevention, we call it, the prevention we're talking about is what we call primordial prevention. Making sure that we halt it, we stop it before it gets to us. What is it we can do to make sure that we are not rape cases, we are not rape victims? What is it we can do? When we dress shabbily, we are calling those people to come. We are calling evil to come to us. When we decide to move at odd times, you don't tell your friend where you're going to. We are predisposing ourselves. When we go taking gifts, iPhone, I this, I that, iCloud, I this. Most of these things our parents cannot afford it. We cannot afford it. But when an uncle just dangles it around us, we feel, let me just be smart about it. These are some of the things that predispose us. We don't want to be victims. We want to see what we can do to set boundaries for ourselves. We want to see what we can do to be upright. It pays to be a virgin. Do you understand? It pays so much to be, even a man is supposed to wait on the Lord. We're not supposed to be dishing it out nilly-willy. We're not supposed to. So the time for us to set our boundaries to say, God forbid, I can never be a candidate of rape. It's now. I can never be a candidate of abuse. It's now. I can never be a candidate of bully. You have cyber bully. You have a lot of things talking. You have a lot of things working against the young man in this hard time. And this is not the time for us to start taking, pride in doing things that doesn't matter. We have to set our boundaries right. We need to care for ourselves. A boy child needs to know that you must excuse somebody. Before you go getting something from a girl, you must be empathic. A boy child should be able to know that before you go, you should be very considerate going to get something from someone. It's not everything that is by force. And that is why are we having men who are forceful these days? Because most of us, we lack moral values. Because most of us is the single parent that is actually attending to us, that is training us. But that is not enough. Wrong pairs is another thing that messes up everything. The time for us to know that at this time, this is a very good time when we should be able to learn what it takes to be confident. What is it do we do to be able to build capacity? There are a lot of things that we need to learn instead of learning how to rape, how to obtain, how to do this. All of these are all violence. Hello? So what we are saying is the time for us to have a change in attitude is now. To change our perspective about life. Because you lose it now. That boy who is violent now cannot tell me he's going to change in the next, when he gets married. You understand? So you have to change your attitude. The essence of you being here today is that you may learn and unlearn. That is the essence why we are here. So what we are saying is, as far as GBV is concerned, if for any reason any of us are falling prey of, is victimized, has been compromised, you don't keep it to yourself. We are here as mommies and daddies. We were once like you. You should be able to confide in somebody. Our mommy is here. You can confide in her. Then she will now be able to trace it down to the people who are custodians of GBV. We have counseling units in existence. Do you know that? We have counseling units in the diocese. Do you know that? Courtesy of the bishop and the wife. Do you know that? And these are the places where we have healing homes. That is where we have our safe space. You need to confide in somebody. You need to heal from inside out. You need to take away denial. Because most of us, our confidence is lost. Denial is the thing. A lot of things mess up what our future ought to be, our bright futures. So the time for us to do what is right is now. One, avoidance. Make sure that in your home, nobody abuses you. Make sure that in your home, you respect authorities. You do what is right. You don't tell me that a girl child, a boy child will wake up in the morning, you will not greet anybody. You end up, you finish eating, you leave your dirty things in the sink, and when somebody talks to you rudely, it means abuse. Respect is reciprocal. We should be able to own up to do those things that are right, so that nobody abuses us, so that nobody bullies us. In your school, make sure you set your boundaries right. Guy, you don't touch me anyhow. You don't touch me in those places that are not right. Should you do it, I'm going to report you. And you make sure you report. The essence of us coming as a committee is because we have your back. Because we are going to defend you. If you come straight with confidence in us, if you trust us enough, you come, you let us know. We buy that matter from you. If it means taking you to a safe space, we have to do it. If it means helping with your funding, we have to do it. Whatever it takes for you to heal, and whereby you feel so bad that, oh, you need this case must, the legislators, they must hear about it. We can take you there. People are being jailed. People are being tried. A lot of things is going on in our system. So, but the bigger thing I'm telling you now is that we have a counseling unit. In case it has happened to you, in case it has happened to any of your friends, in case it's happening to your mother, the time for you to speak out is now. We need you to amplify your voices. You need to speak so as to save a soul. You need to speak. You don't need to die in silence. Men are being abused. Most times, they muzzle it. They feel they are men. They cannot talk. Men cry. Instead of dying in silence, the time for you to speak is now. Speak it and shame the devil, so that evil will not persist again in our land. So that the land, our society, will be a better place for all of us. We are the world. Can we sing it? We are the world. We are the children.
Violence and
We are the one that make it better. Then say, choice we make it. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. So what we are saying is, the time for us to speak out is now. Our mommies are there. Always go to our mommies. Let them know what is happening. They will be able to direct you. They will be able to protect you. They will be able to preserve your integrity. It is not supposed to be a laughing stock. Your confidentiality, we're going to protect you to the best of our knowledge. That is it. So I want you people to ask me some questions so that I can throw more light in case there is any. Sorry, sir.
First, I want to commend this committee. They are not handling the tax given to them with kid glove. I've been seeing their commitment all around the diocese, even at my local level. As the CMF president of St. Cyprian too, I do open up the doors for them to come in. But then I seem to be confused about the scope of their exercise. My knowledge is based on the nomenclature, gender-based violence. But from all that has been said, some areas have to do with domestic abuse, physical abuse, and rape. I don't know if it covers gender-based violence, but gender-based violence, from my own knowledge, should be the question asked as why the boy child in the morning needs to be sleeping while the girl will be awake doing the house chores, running around. Why should we have 23 sole administrators in Rivers State and we have only one female? Why should we have this number of House of Representatives and we have only one male? And more particularly for the boy as a person, if you go into a local restaurant or bar, when you ask where do you need to urinate, they will tell you as a boy, go to that gutter and urinate. Then when a woman comes and asks, where do I need to urinate? They will not say, come, follow me, follow me, follow me. Those are what I see as gender-based violence. It should be a matter of intimidation. You wait first, will they come? Because you be woman, Moku go. You, they wait. Why the men should only qualify to be drivers? Why should the men only qualify to be messenger? Then the women will be qualified to be secretaries. Why should the women qualify to follow the boss for overseas training? Why the man should be waiting behind for him to be running the shows in the office? I believe those are the things we should be covering. But then we are moving. I don't know, but let me be wrong. I don't know if I'm right, but that's my own common sense thinking for gender-based violence. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your observations. We're actually trying to cut down as much as possible because we did not go into the basis of what...
My final observation, even them preaching the gender-based violence, you see that we have only one man. And we have how many women? I'm coming. Excuse me. They have also listed out ways to end gender-based violence. And amongst them, only one belongs to the man, and the rest is for the women.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes, he's right to an extent, but I want to make us understand that anytime we are talking about GBV, we are gender neutral. We do not try to relegate the men to the background. The men, they are super. The men, they are the heads. They are the lead people. But the only thing we have against the men is that they use their masculinity negatively. The men are actually the custodians of the norms and the cultures. When there is time for us to make assertions or to talk, it's always the men that go talking for the women. And because there is obvious inequality, that is why at times it looks like we are shifting grounds. For as long as there is equity, there is justice, there is fair play. And that is why we're telling the girls that the time for you to get up is now and possess your possessions, because we have been marginalized in a long while. You understand? It is just now. Hardly you see women who can come out and tell you how it is. Oh, my husband is beating me. Oh, I'm being abused. Oh, I'm being this. We do not have what it takes. We don't have the impetus because the culture has subdued the women so greatly. That is why we are talking about the Beijing conference. Hello? So the women should be able to own up, to tell themselves that enough is enough. The time for us to take what belongs to us is now. Hello? ordinarily, the women were supposed to be smarter. In the natural form, women were supposed to be smarter. I don't know why the men, they are luring us into doing some other things from the corner. Do you understand? So what we're saying ordinarily is, we believe in gender neutrality. We talk as it affects the boys, we talk as it affects the girls, and we want to see what we can do to bring everything to equity. If there is love, there is respect, there is mutual understanding, we will not be talking about gender-based violence. Thank you. Let me just hand over to this uncle to respond a little.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me take off from where she has stopped. Actually, the purpose, when we talk about gender, you already know. There are some roles that are given to men by society. From the beginning of society, there are some roles that are given to men. And then there are also those ones that are given to women. But we have also seen over time that unless we look at it more critically, that society will not be able to advance the way it ought to advance. We know that whenever we talk about gender-based violence, the tendency is for us to look at it as if, it's the women that are being oppressed. We also know that men also have their own ways. Society had also oppressed them. For instance, when you look at the man most times is looked upon as somebody who is a shock absorber. And so when you look at the man, oftentimes too, even when the man, is going through certain circumstances that are against his interests, that are gender-based, out of which the tendency is that the man sees himself as a shock absorber because he cannot cry out. He sees himself as a man. And so, even in terms of life expectancy, you see that life expectancy for the men is a bit shorter than that of the women. So what we are trying to do, and what we are interested in, is to see how both hands, the man and the woman, how both of them can come together and work towards the progress of society. Work towards the progress of society. There are situations, for instance, where a man could see himself. Of course, society looks at the man as the breadwinner. But we have also seen that over time, the women, in